Why arguing is useless. Most people, if not all, have had this experience. Somebody makes a point. Maybe it's a complicated point. Maybe it's a simple point. But something about their argument doesn't seem quite right. So you think about it. Maybe do some research. And yes, you discover that their point is based on faulty information, incorrect information. So you prepare a rebuttal. You are sure that they will see the error of their ways. You are sure that they will admit they are wrong and you are right. But they don't. In fact, they dig even deeper into their point, even though that you proved that they are wrong. Why does this happen? And better yet, how can you keep yourself from falling into this all too common, frustrating trap? First, let's talk about why this happens. One thing to consider is that the opinions that we hold are just that. Opinions. Socrates was famous by rationally and calmly demonstrating that all ideas are opinions and all opinions are false. Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosopher and emperor of Rome, said in his book Meditations that all is opinion. But this doesn't really explain why people love their opinions so much, why they stick to their opinions even when presented with facts that contradict their opinions. Consider this metaphor. It's kind of strange, but stay with me here. Consider two different kinds of food, the kind that tastes good and the kind that is good for us. Sure, there's plenty of overlap, but it's pretty easy to put food into these two different categories. The food that tastes good now versus the food that can help us build a healthy and hopefully long-lasting body. We eat the food that tastes good now purely for emotional reasons, while we eat the food that is good for us for more rational reasons. We eat it so that we can get a certain outcome. Sure, the outcome itself is emotionally pleasing, but the means to that outcome is more logical than emotional. Now, how does this relate to the idea of opinions? Some opinions make us feel good, but right now. They validate our ego. We hold many opinions because they help us in some way feel a little bit superior. We know things that others don't. We understand things in a way that others can't. We see things in a way that others can't. These opinions are kind of like junk food. They make us feel good right now, but they don't really help us to improve ourselves. On the other hand, ideas that are rationally and logically decided upon might not necessarily make us feel good, but they can help us to improve our lives in some way. So when you argue with somebody and you are arguing against a junk food kind of idea, it feels to them on a subconscious level that you are attacking them personally. This is why so many people get angry when all you're really doing is pointing out holes in their logic. They feel on a subconscious level that you are attacking their sense of self. Another related reason why people dig into these opinions is a law of persuasion called the law of commitment and consistency. Our brains are hardwired to look for shortcuts in thinking. All else equal, we'd rather stick to the familiar than try something new. Maybe there was an ancient race of cave people way back in the day that were always trying to reinvent the wheel, but they went extinct. The people that we descended from were always economizing their brain power by sticking to the familiar. This shows up in our behavior whenever we commit to an idea publicly. Once we commit to an idea publicly, it's much harder to walk that idea back. Jury trials, where everybody says their opinion out loud, guilty or not guilty, take twice as long compared to jury trials where they vote secretly. It's much easier for us to change our opinion if we keep them secret. But once somebody says their opinion out loud, the more we argue with them, the more they'll dig in. So, dear viewer, how do you change somebody's mind? First, be very calm. Imagine you're walking through the park and you see a big and potentially angry and vicious dog. You don't want to scare or intimidate or threaten that dog. Similarly, any indication that you are trying to destroy another person's belief will be perceived as a threat to their ego. So, remain calm and ask questions. This is exactly what Socrates did. He would simply ask questions about their opinions. He would keep asking questions, and slowly, over time, he would show them how many of their answers to his questions would contradict each other. The idea is to help them discover on their own why their opinion might not be as well developed as they thought it was. This requires you to get a handle on your own ego, that you play the long game, that you patiently and calmly put on a curious mindset. And through this curious, ego-free mindset, keep asking them questions about the structure of their opinion. Usually it won't take very long. Junk food type opinions are never really well developed. They are almost always copied from other people without much thought. Just like nobody ever takes the time to read the nutrition label on any junk food, nobody ever really looks at a junk food opinion that they copied from somebody else. Just remember that junk food opinions are always connected to their ego in some way. Go slowly, be patient, and you will be a destroyer of bad ideas in no time. If you want to learn more language patterns to become much more persuasive and confident, please visit mindpersuasion.com. And because we make videos almost every day, please subscribe to our channel so you can stay in the loop. And please let us know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. Thank you for watching.